Welcome everyone to another Saturday, another Geeks of the Roundtable day. My name is Ren, and I'm of course always joined by my co-host Zach Pope. How are you doing today, Zachary?
I'm tired, but I'm ready to do this, man. This is a big week for movie news. Like a
It
big
is a
week.
big week. It is a big week for movie news. It is a big week for movies, and it is a big week for Earth's Marvel fans. And we got a lot to talk about. And we're going to have a lot to talk about on our main topic. So let's not waste too much time. You guys know how this works. We're going to run through the news, and then we're going to go to your live questions. Look, our main topic is Eternals. We're going to be discussing it spoiler free, and then next week we're going to be talking Eternals again, and then we'll talk spoilers. So make sure you guys watch Eternals. Go support the film because kind of deserves it. So without any further ado, Zach, you start us off this week with our weekly ranking.
Yes. So this is a weird week because every movie I saw, I fucking loved. To have really liked. So I like every movie I'm about to talk about. So let's go with the bottom. I mean, again, I liked all these movies. So at the bottom, I finally watched the first two Screams, and the second Scream is probably my least favorite film I watched this week, but I really liked it. I thought it was actually pretty good. I didn't know the twist in this one, so I was actually really caught off guard on this movie, so really dug that one. Next would be Red Notice, the new Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot film. It's now in theaters, so if you want to check it out, it's in select theaters, but it'll be on streaming next week. Surprising. I didn't think this movie was going to be good. I honestly thought it was going to be ass, and I watched it and I laughed my ass off, which I knew I was going to, but I was more surprised by other themes of the movie that I was like, oh, this is actually not that bad. So probably it's honestly probably my biggest surprise of 2021. I understand. I've seen that it's rotten on Rotten Tomatoes right now. I get it. Like it I don't know why it worked for me. Maybe I was just needing some dumb, stupid fucking action movie, but I thought it was fun. I want more with these characters. Next, we have The Harder They Fall, which I ate the fuck up. And I'm so mad I didn't see this thing in theaters. I put it off and I was like, oh, I'll just watch it on Netflix. Holy shit, is this fun. The music, the vibe, yeah, you were right. The vibe, everything of that nature, the characters, I loved it. Jonathan Majors, this guy I want in everything. I don't care what it is. I want it in everything. Everything. Star Wars, Marvel, I don't give a fuck. Put him in fucking Spencer. He should have played King Diana too. Or Queen Diana, Princess Diana. Fucking amazing. I really loved this movie. It was a lot of fun, and I'm just sitting there when it ended. This is the movie that I want to own on Blu-ray, but I'm like, fuck, I don't think they'll never do it. Next after that, we have Scream, which I loved. The original Scream is bar none one of my favorite horror films now. I loved it. I can't stop thinking about it. It was so much fun. I love the meta-ness, and I know we're planning on trying to watch 3 and 4 this weekend. I don't know if we will, because we're going to see Eternals tonight, so we'll see about that. But I really loved Scream. Next, and these next two are tied. I don't know where I would put these, but they're both tied. King Richard and Belfast are both tied. I love them both. King Richard is probably my favorite crowd-pleasing drama in quite a while, especially when it comes to sports movies. I wasn't excited for this movie. I was excited to see Will Smith at least, but I always felt that Venus and Serena deserved their own film together. But I didn't know how important their fucking father was in their whole entire journey. I did not know that. So, coming out of the movie, I was like, wow, I was wrong. That movie was incredible. His performance might be his best performance yet. The little girl who plays Venus and the little girl who plays Serena, I mean, they're going to be stars.
Venus especially.
Yes. Ellis, the lady who plays the mother, amazing. And guys, John Berthenol, one of the most underrated actors right now. When he shows up in something, he's either in it for 5 minutes or he dies. It doesn't matter what the movie is. That's just typically how it goes. But anytime he's in a film, he elevates it. He elevates those scenes, those moments. I would fucking love if he gets nominated for this movie. It's not like the most flashy performance, but it's one of my favorite supporting performances of the year. I thought it was fucking great. I could not get enough of him with his fucking accent. He had his goddamn mustache. It was perfect. It was perfect, and I loved him in this movie. I loved King Richard. I walked out and I was like, God damn. It might not do anything new with the dramatic avenues, stuff like that, but on November 19th, guys, I cannot recommend enough watching this film. And then, like I said, I tied it with Belfast, which I think is a better made movie, but I enjoyed both like the same amount. Belfast did take me about 20 minutes to finally get into the movie. When it started, I started thinking, I'm like, I don't know if this is going to be for me. I feel like I'm going to be the underlier that didn't like this movie. But I can't tell you where it finally clicked at, where I was like, no, this is fucking great, and this movie will probably win Best Picture. It's it's not in my
I'd be very happy to see that.
Yeah, it's close.
It's not in my top 10
yet.
But
it's not in my top
10
either. I agree. And I think that just goes to show how great of films that is this year. But watching Belfast, I just sat there and I'm like, yeah, this is gonna win Best Picture, or at least it's the front runner right now, because it's heartwarming, it's delightful, it's a treat. I literally said it's a cinematic treat. That this movie reminded me of why I love watching movies, because I felt like the kid in all the movies I've been watching, like the cinema. That felt like me watching Belfast. I love how the movie. When the movie started, to be honest, Ren, I thought we were in the wrong movie. I thought they played the wrong movie because it wasn't black and white. Because it
starts in color.
And I was very confused
exactly
for a second.
Same. Exactly.
I was because, and I don't. And the rep hadn't seen the movie yet, so I'm watching her reaction, and it looks like she was like, "Oh fuck, is this the wrong movie?" Like. And then it says Belfast, and then she goes, and then she sat back down, like she was like, "Okay, we're good. But this is Kenneth Branagh's personal story, and I loved it. The little 100%. Little kid in here,
buddy.
Oh my
Jude
God.
Hill, I believe his name is.
He's so good. He's so good. The mother's really good, and Jamie Dornan. You have finally redeemed yourself from 50 Shades.
Oh, he redeemed himself.
I know, but like this is he could get nominated. I actually think he should. He's really good.
And I think Catriona Balfe should win Best Supporting Actress.
Oh, really?
Right now.
I can understand that. I'm kind of between her or Ellis for King Richard. It just kind of depends on what else we get this year. But my number one, Ren, Spencer.
Oh yes, you saw that this week. Fuck yes. Yes.
Yes. I didn't think I was gonna be able to.
I gotta be on screen for this one.
Yeah, I was getting really busy, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to. And then Neon sent me an email saying, "Hey, would you like to
murder you if you said no to Spencer?"
No,
of all the movies you would say
I just didn't have time. But
don't care. Say no to King Richard.
So
say no to Belfast. Say yes to that one.
No. I had stuff like going down personally at my house, so I couldn't make the Eternals early screening. I had another Eternals screening this week, but I was like, I can't go. So then I came home and they sent me an email about Spencer, and they're like, "Hey, would you like a screener the link that literally works for 5 hours?" And I'm like,
okay,
fuck. So I was looking.
So you watched it at home.
Yeah, I'm going to see it again in theaters though next week.
Yeah,
I have to. I have to.
I'm gonna see it again next week. It comes out over here too.
And usually I leave my phone on. I'll say this: when I'm at home and I watch a screener, I'll usually leave my phone on. This is the first time that since the pandemic, that I set my phone, I put it on Do Not Disturb, and I literally put it against a different room. I was like, I want to just experience this thing like it's just mine. And I fucking love this movie. And it's, again, funny. Belfast, I wasn't into. Dude, I'm going to tell you right now, the first act of Spencer, I was not feeling it. I was sitting there, I was like, oh my God, okay. I do not. And I will be honest with this. I don't know a lot about Princess Diana. And it just kind of fucking throws you in. So it did take me a bit to kind of catch back about, because like once I started learning, once the movie goes on, I start to learn. Okay, now I'm a little bit more refreshed with who Princess Diana is, what the situation is, because I could only remember like the royal family thing, and I forgot her husband had cheated. So I very much recommend to anyone who's going to see Spencer, if you know nothing about Princess Diana, do a little bit of research beforehand. Yeah, just to help your experience.
How would you say it? As we have the topics in description, the bullet points of
Exactly.
of her
And
life.
that's all you need to know.
As a
That's
member
all
of
I
the
need.
royal
Yeah.
family.
Because then, like, after the movie, I
By the
went
way,
and looked
Zach,
and I was like, yeah.
Zach, best scene in the entire film, one of the best scenes of the year, the candlelit scene where they pretend to be soldiers.
Oh, yep.
My God. Yep. Holy shit.
My favorite scene though was the house. The haunted house.
The haunted house. I get you.
The decrepit house is what I said in my review.
Yeah.
Dude,
house. It's her house.
If she doesn't win,
I'll be shocked.
Because like the performance I had going before this was Tammy Faye, because I thought Jessica Chastain was amazing, unrecognizable.
Seen that one on the 19th. Gonna go to Cambridge, everyone.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Which I really like Tammy Faye, but the best part about it was Jessica Chastain's performance. Not anymore.
This is great as a whole.
This is great as a whole. I think it's more accessible than people are giving the movie, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
Because I think if people get the vibe of the film, because the film, this is what I said, it's a fucking horror movie. It's a claustrophobic, tragic, and intimate story about Princess Diana and how she very much felt trapped as a prisoner in this family. Yeah. And yes, it's not your typical biopic, but I would rather have something like this
especially because it's not something that happened.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing though, but it makes you feel how she felt.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%,
and that's 100%. What I loved about it. Every time she's in the bathroom and she's sitting there, and I saw a tweet and someone's like, "Never have we had better bathroom scenes since The Shining," and Spencer finally did it. And I'm like, and I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, you're not wrong. Like you are not wrong on that. Dude, I love this movie. I love it. I love it. And again, it wasn't working for me in the first act. I was sitting there, I was like, fuck, why isn't this working for me? And I literally told myself, I'm like, okay, if I don't like this movie, I'm not going to review it, but I'm going to go and see it in theaters and then review it afterwards. So thankfully, I ended up like loving it by the end. But I told my girlfriend, I was like, we have to go see this. I was like, I think you'll really like
that.
So.
That for sure is top 10 of the year for me.
Oh, it's my number... It's my, what is it? It's my number 9. But
okay, I think it's my number 3 or 4.
I think I'm gonna move it up.
My number 3 or 4.
Because my top 4 is Dune, Suicide Squad, Green Knight, and No Time to Die. But I think I'm gonna move it up to number 6 and bump everything down. Yeah, I'm gonna move it up because the more I think on this movie.
We have one thing in common, and everything else is different. I can tell you that right now. I'm not gonna reveal my top 10. Okay. I'm not gonna do that. But starting next year, I will be updating as we go along the year on Letterboxd, since I didn't have a Letterboxd at the beginning of this year. So go follow me on Letterboxd. All right, I didn't watch too much this week. We're already 15 minutes in. So you guys let us know your weekly rankings if you have some. And
sorry,
so mine,
I took so much time. I apologize.
No worries. You watched a lot, so good. I didn't watch too much this week. I literally watched.
I'm trying to catch up on you, man.
I literally watched, I did what you just did a few weeks ago, and I was doing LFF because I watched multiple films a day. But I didn't watch too much this week. Literally, I cannot tell you guys what my best thing I watched this week is because it's still under embargo. But Zach, I'm on episode 4. You know
same,
what I'm talking about.
Same. I'm on episode 4 as well.
So this week, the weakest thing is a solid movie. I recommend you guys go on Apple TV and watch Finch. Really solid film.
Oh, yeah.
Very heartwarming. Hang on.
Is he gonna make me cry like Hachi?
No. It might get you teared up on one moment, but it's nowhere near as emotional.
I just like anytime I see a dog is in something, man. Like spoilers for My Hero Academia real fast.
In this
like
you'll be like, yay, dog and robot.
Yeah, well, it's like in My Hero Academia, the newest season. Spoilers. I mean, not really spoilers, but you know what I'm talking about. The dog scene.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I couldn't even look at the fucking screen because I just thought about my dog.
Yeah. Imagine that when I read the manga and then had to watch it again in the anime. But yeah, so Finch is my bottom, which I really liked. And G. Colby P, if you're watching, don't kill me. Scream is next. Scream is enjoyable. I had much more fun than I remember having the first time. I will be watching the other films. So if you guys want to see my reviews for the other Screams, let me know in my review of Scream, which I reviewed this week. And then, not my number 1, but the number 1 thing I watched this week that I can tell you guys about was Eternals, which I watched twice. and it's great.
Is it in your top
really
10?
Great.
Is it?
It's not in my top 10. It's just shy of my top 10.
You like Shang-Chi more, though, right?
I think I like Shang-Chi more. Yeah, like in the comics, Eternals all the way. Like as great as I think Eternals is, you guys know this. You guys know how excited I've been about this film. You guys know, and Zach knows too, how I love the Eternals.
I want to get that giant
my
book
expectations
now of the comics, the pendulum
my
or whatever they're called.
The omnibus.
Yeah.
You guys know how excited I've been, and I still love these characters, and I think it's a great movie. And you guys know as well how much I love the MCU. So as great as I thought this film is, I do recognize, in my opinion at least, that Shang-Chi is the better film overall. But yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
So
the thing I love about it though is how different both of them are. And that's what I love.
Amazing, molecularly different. Yeah. I will also say this, Zach. Like, this doesn't make the film any better or any worse. But you know how sometimes a movie comes out with a ton of characters, particularly superhero movies, comes out with a ton of characters, and you want to buy all the Funko Pops, and then you watch the movie, and okay, maybe I wasted money on that one. On this one, I say buy them all. They're all worth it.
So I bought all the Marvel Legends before because I decided I wasn't going to do Funkos for them. I did the Marvel. I might still get the Celestial Funkos just because they're not doing Celestial ones for Funkos, and I was like, oh well, I can have him be like big and do that in the front. The only one I regret buying was Crew or whatever.
Really? I would say if you're gonna regret any one of them is maybe Thane Whitman, but that's it.
They didn't come out with any figures for him, so I'm fine. Well. But I do.
Figures, that's right.
I bought all those figures, man. And guys, if you haven't seen Eternals yet, we're not going to spoil it in today's episode. I think we discussed right. It's holy shit. You love every character walking out.
Oh yeah,
you love every character.
They all stand out and you advised me on this, and I'm working on something special today. That I'm going to put out, and I hope you guys enjoy it. It will have spoilers for Eternals, so don't watch it if you haven't seen Eternals. But I'm working on something that was kind of therapeutic to shoot, and I'm now editing it, and it should be out today. And I have
please support the video too, because I think this is like the coolest fucking idea, especially if you've seen Eternals.
Yes.
Yeah. And then movie fan next week. Can we talk spoilers on Eternals? Yes. Next week is when we're going to do a spoiler review. We
will have a section for it. Like, we're not going to put spoilers on the thumbnail and whatnot, but we will have a section.
And then what I do want to say is I might do a spoiler review tomorrow with Ren live stream, but I'm still deciding. It just depends if I get everything done that I need to today. So we'll see. And mostly how I'm feeling, because I'm very tired, and I just want a day to relax. So I still have not beaten Guardians of the Galaxy, and it makes me fucking sad.
I haven't bought it.
Oh, dude, it honestly, Ren, and maybe I don't want to like overly hype the game. It is a little bit glitchy and buggy with certain mechanics.
It's story focused, isn't it?
No.
Oh,
heavily. It is probably my third favorite comic book game of all fucking time.
Wait, but is it story focused?
Yes, yeah. There's no online.
That's all. That's all I need to know. I don't need to know about anything else. Like, that's all I care.
I do not get, dude. I this is another reason I hate TikTok. The first day it came out, I'm scrolling through and I see a boss battle, and I see a thing that I don't want to see. I see a character that shows up. So I've known characters were gonna be in it. Go into this game not knowing anything, because Ren, do you know how fucking deep in comic lore this shit gets? Cosmic level.
No idea.
It is
deep. But speaking of cosmic level, Eternals is the cosmic MCU that I always wanted.
Yep.
And you guys, by the way, you guys know I do like Guardians of the Galaxy. I love Guardians of the Galaxy in the comics.
My favorite.
It's Zach's favorite. To me, what Eternals presents is the cosmic side of the MCU that I've always fell in love with. Just to add
can I be honest? Besides this movie not really taking place in space overall, this is probably the most cosmic-y the Marvel.
There's still a lot of space.
There is, but like Guardians of the Galaxy, yes, it's cosmic, but I never thought it went deep into the lore.
No. Yeah. Yeah. I
Eternals
get you.
does.
Eternals does, for sure. All right, let's go into weekly rankings while Zach prepares to approach topic number 1. Eric Thorpe, my weekly ranking going to include shows since I didn't see that many movies. Always include shows. Always include whatever you want. Number 1, Game of Thrones Season 1, Episodes 1 through 3. Number 2, GoldenEye. Number 3, Eternals. I would put Eternals over GoldenEye and Game of Thrones Season 1. Number 4, Last Night in Soho. I would also put that. Maybe not over Game of Thrones, certainly over GoldenEye. Squid Game, episodes 1 and 2, all good, but Squid Game is just okay. I have never been in love with Squid Game. I'm on episode 7 now, so I got 2 more episodes left. I tell you guys right now, I never fell in love with Squid Game. A solid show, good show. Episode 6 is the best one, the one with the marbles, for those who've seen it. But yeah, that's the one. Tony Movie Chappie, weekly ranking for me is number 1, Antlers, which I love. I'm glad you love it, my friend. Number 2, Last Night in Soho. Number 3, Finch. Number 4, Rosemary's Baby. First time watch. I really like it, and sadly haven't watched Eternals yet. No worries. Watch it whenever you can. More weekly rankings? Do we have more weekly rankings? That is the big question. I'm looking at like big blocks. Okay, no weekly ranking, and we have a super chat. I think we have a tip or super chat. No, that was just the one I had selected. Never mind.
I was like, I didn't see one unless I was dumb and missed it.
Because usually when we have super chats, they show up in blue, and now I have.
That's the one thing I wish StreamYard would add is like another section called super chats. And then you can just click it and like go straight to them.
Find. All right, that is it for weekly rankings so far, but feel free to add them if you haven't yet, and we'll do our best to get to them. Zach, take us to our number 1 topic, my friend.
All right, number 1 topic, guys. It saw, and it is here, the first teaser for the book of Boba Fett. Just like any Star Wars trailer coming out, they don't show shit. I can guarantee you probably half this teaser is from the first and second episode. That's fine with me. I just need to see the vibe of it. I don't want to see anything on this. I want to go in completely surprised, just like I was with Mandalorian Season 2 and Mandalorian Season 1. Because if we can all remember, Grogu was not in that first season trailer. And I remember sitting there watching the first episode, and when I see a little baby Yoda, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And now I'm obsessed with it. As you can see, my buddy in every video now. I dug this trailer. I didn't love it. It wasn't like the greatest thing, but I do like this kind of like Godfather vibe that the fucking show's going for. And I actually hope that the show is more like that vibe than it is just straight action. I know there will be a lot of action, but that's what I'm hoping. And God forbid, please, oh Lord, fucking Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, I know you're listening to me. Please have Cad Bane in there. Please fucking
I knew you
have
were gonna
Cad
say
Bane.
that.
I will fucking cry if I get live action Cad Bane. I cried when he came in Bad Batch Season 1. I literally fucking lost it. He is like one of my favorite Star Wars characters of all time. I don't even care if he dies in this season. I don't give a fuck if he dies. If this is the end of his story, cool. I just want to see him in live action go up against Boba Fett. Live action style, fucking awesome. And I could just see it being great. But also shout out just to Tamora Morrison, man. Oh, yeah. He's been such a big talent in Star Wars for such a long time. And he just slides right back into the role perfectly. Boba Fett was a big standout of Mandalorian Season 2. Mandalorian Season 2 is like, I just rewatched it like a couple months ago. And it's so good. It's good.
A great season of television.
I love what Filoni and Favreau are doing right now with Star Wars. And I really hope that the movies coming up, they have their hand in them, some way, shape, and form. So I loved it. What about you?
I liked it. It's a solid teaser trailer. I like the Godfather vibes. I love that it has enough of the identity of the Mandalorian. It's happening at the same time. It comes from the show. It should have a little bit of familiarity, like, oh, this feels kind of in the same world as the Mandalorian. It should. It makes total sense that it would. But the trailer just didn't sell me enough on a Boba Fett show. Because Zach, I don't want to say I've always been against, but I'm yet to be fully convinced that Boba Fett or rather that we need to see what happens with Boba Fett. He was amazing when he came into Mandalorian Season 2, and when they announced the show, I was like, okay, I'm curious about this, because his post-credit scene of Mandalorian Season 2 is incredible. Really great scene. I like the Godfather vibes. I like how this is teasing a political power play between factions, per se. And it's going to be even more of a Western than Mandalorian already is, instead of like the lone gunslinger traveling across the galaxy. It's this bad sheriff conquering factions over and over again and ruling over all. But I just don't know, like, I just can't see the big picture right now. And I would like to see a little bit of the point that we're heading towards. Because this is the plot. I want to know the story, if that makes sense. So it's a solid trailer. I would give it a thumbs up. I would knight it. Bless you.
Thank you.
I would knight it overall. But it's not like a big, strong, oh my god, I cannot wait for this. I'm curious. I'll be there to watch it, to hopefully be convinced. But it's just not something that I'm like, holy fucking shit, I need this now.
Yeah. Ren, real fast. You know how usually sometimes, like when we did the show on Thursday, stuff would break, like right afterwards?
Yes.
I want to give a heads up to everyone. Daniel RPK, who's been very much in the, very closely knowing what's going on in Spider-Man, tweeted out that something big is going on this weekend. For Spider-Man. No one knows what it is. I don't think it's a trailer. I think it's the first poster, which is still pretty big because we don't have one. But just to give everyone a heads up, prepare for Spider-Man content.
And the poster leaked, and they finally gave us a good poster for Spider-Man movie.
That looks awesome. That looks
great.
It
looks awesome.
Yeah,
it does.
But I guess that's a teaser poster. And there's an actual another poster.
Obviously.
Which, let's be honest, that poster, do you think it's it's him with all the Sinister Six? Because that's what I think.
I don't think it is, but look, Zach, you and I know, and I won't say much, but this poster that we've seen leaked looks great, but it's not even featuring the main villain of the movie.
No. Yeah.
It's just featuring the one we've already seen in the trailer.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I'll say. That's definitely not the final poster.
If Toby and Andrew are in the movie, I just want to know, do you think they'll show them? I think right now, I think Marvel won, and I don't think they will. Because that's been the big debate, I guess, between Marvel and Sony.
I hope Marvel wins out that argument and they don't show them. It's a Spider-Man movie. Yeah. You only need one Spider-Man to sell tickets. If the other two come into the film, that will be the cherry on top of the cake that
the way I view it,
no one knows about.
You don't show them. And then I get it. Like, if you do, the pros of showing them would, of course, they can do press together. They'll show up on the red carpet. But arguably, like, the other thing is, if they're in the movie, it's going to leak out at the premiere. You know what I mean? Like, someone's going to fucking say something. And even if they don't, because apparently during Endgame, people didn't have Twitter, so I guess no one could spoil it then.
Twitter didn't exist.
What's going to happen is, after opening night, even if someone's like, I'm not going to see it because I don't think Toby's Andrews in the movie, can guarantee you, that type of person's going to hear about it that opening night and be like, oh, I need to buy tickets. And then he's going to try and find tickets somewhere. So I really think this movie will be $1 billion. It'll make $1 billion.
I'm not ready to guarantee that, but I think it's the one that has a shot. All right. Continuing with Spider-Man is a Disney technically, but continuing with Disney news, because we just talked about Star Wars. And speaking of someone who has been involved not only in Star Wars, but specifically in Mandalorian, ladies and gentlemen, after, what should we call it, Zach? After the kerfuffle that we had over the summer between Disney and Scarlett Johansson, her Tower of Terror movie is not only still standing, but it seems it has found its director. And it's someone that not only is a genius director, in my humble opinion, even though I don't like his one movie he did for Marvel, but this person has shown that he can create an incredible world that mixes comedy and horror extremely well, because, ladies and gentlemen, Taika Waititi has been tapped to direct Disney's Tower of Terror starring Scarlett Johansson. And look, Tower of Terror, the ride at Disneyland, and I only know the version in Disneyland Paris. I don't know how different the one in actual Disneyland is. I'm guessing they're exactly the same, but that's just me guessing.
Well, not anymore.
Oh yeah, true.
We
true.
get we have Guardians.
But when it existed, they were exactly the same. My guess.
It was a little bit different, but I actually like the Florida one more, if I'm being honest, just because of how the layout was structured. It was very different, but same ride.
So, but between California, Florida, and Paris, my guess is they were the same. Apparently, they were. Whatever. I love the ride. I think it's really fun. I'm not afraid of heights. I love the adrenaline that it gives me. And there is a kookiness to it all. Like, yes, it's creepy, it's hearing, but there's also a tongue-in-cheek kind of humor to it all, to the staff that's working there, the ghosts that come on the monitors.
It's
and whatnot.
Perfect for Taika.
It's perfect for Taika Waititi. It just fits into his glove box.
Yeah,
really.
I can't believe he's
really
directing
well.
this. I can't believe he's directing this.
I think he has the right sensibilities for this, and I think this film is in.
Do we know real fast? Do we know if he's writing the script too, or no?
I don't know. I have no idea at the moment. And then
how many?
Maybe he is, and they just haven't announced.
Does Taika have a twin brother? Because he didn't just get announced to do this. He's also directing another movie. I don't know if he saw.
Yeah, he's also tapped to do. Yeah, he's doing something else that I.
But you know what I mean?
About,
like,
so I didn't memorize
what the fuck? He has those two now.
He's doing a lot.
He is
keeping himself busy.
Yeah, Star Wars. Is he still doing Akira? Isn't he still somewhat on board for the Akira or Flash Gordon at this point?
So, Flash Gordon, yes. Akira is very much like... Akira is there. He's tapped to do it eventually.
I don't know when Akira, we see a Star Wars movie.
Everything Akira has is... DiCaprio is producing...
Bless you.
Thank you. DiCaprio is producing and he's tapped to direct, and that's it. There's nothing else on Akira. Like, the studio itself is not pushing Akira forward. Tower of Terror, we know Disney is pushing it forward. They have a star, and now they have a director.
Do you think Scarlett, that in part of her... I wonder, because she's a producer, I wonder if she was the one that asked Taika to come on.
Could be. Was she? So, she was... she was directed by him in Jojo Rabbit. Which is his best movie, by the way.
So I'm excited.
I like this.
I'm excited. I love this. When I read that, I was like, because I wasn't excited for this movie. I kind of rolled my eyes at even the thought of it. I love Tower of Terror, but I was kind of like, really. But the funny thing about this is so like the reason they changed it at California was, one, because they were eventually going to do Marvel Land, but two, they don't want to pay for the rights anymore for Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. But now they're doing a movie. So it's funny because
the movie isn't Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. It's just Tower of Terror.
And we don't even know the story. We don't know what kind of.
I mean, it's going to be a haunted hotel and cookie stuff happens. There's going to be a scene that is exactly like the ride.
But can I say this? Is it? It could also be a biopic of how the ride was built. Maybe there's some fucking story behind it. I don't know.
Doesn't sound as interesting as just a haunted hotel movie done by Taika Waititi. That's quote-unquote completely original. But I guess it's still him directing, so I guess it could work. I just don't get excited for Taika Waititi doing a biopic. I don't know.
Okay. I found out who wrote the script, by the way.
Who's writing it?
It's Toy Story 4's writer, Josh Cooley.
You know what? Look, he didn't write a bad script for Toy Story 4.
You know what else he also wrote, though?
What else?
He also wrote Inside Out.
Oh, okay. Look, Toy Story 4 doesn't have a bad script. It just goes in a direction that I did not care for and I'm completely against. But in itself, it's a good script.
And then the other writer, this is what he's done. All right, you ready?
Okay. All right.
Big Fish.
Oh, that's the best Tim Burton movie.
Corpse Bride.
Never seen it.
Frankenweenie.
I like it. I like Frankenweenie. That's the horror. That's the horror thing I'm seeing.
But are you ready? Are you ready? Because it doesn't get better from there. Dark Shadows. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay, that's fine.
And he did Aladdin.
Okay, I like Aladdin.
I liked Aladdin too.
No
but,
horror sensibilities there, but I like Aladdin.
Yeah, so him and Josh wrote the script.
Okay, that's a good mix, a nice balance, and from the ones you listed, more good stuff than bad stuff, I think. Even though I have not seen Corpse Bride, but everyone loves it. So this gets a night from me, Zach. How about you?
A 90, man. I really dig it. I bring it on. I don't know when the fuck the movie's coming out. It's like,
true.
when's the Star Wars
Nobody
movie coming
does.
out? When's yeah, I don't know. Bring us to I'm doing the next topic, right?
You are. Take us into the next topic, my friend.
All right, we've all been talking about it. Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer continues to add to the cast. We had Cillian Murphy, we had Emily Blunt,
playing his
and
wife.
2 new stars have just joined. Matt Damon and Robert Downey Jr. Now
shit.
Matt Damon. Okay, cool. That's cool. I like Matt
That's
Damon.
Great.
I was more excited for Robert Downey Jr. because this is his first actual role taking place.
Yep.
I know he did Doolittle, but he filmed Doolittle technically before Endgame. So this is technically his first movie after making Endgame. And what a direction. Because this is the thing that's most exciting about this Nolan film is this is going to be a dramatic biopic, which I mean, it's not gonna be a straightforward one, but on the scale that Nolan's probably making it, which is insane that Universal's like, yeah, here, like, we know you're Nolan, here's $200 million. We probably won't make that money back, but it's okay. Like, because I actually think this movie's gonna be the most different Nolan film we've had yet. And I want to say it might feel not like Dunkirk, but in a sense, because when Dunkirk was announced, I thought, oh, it's going to be a straightforward. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But this cast is growing. And all I will say is I really hope that this is Nolan's first really big breakthrough into, into like the Oscars and stuff. I know he's been nominated before, but like I really hope this is his first one where it's like, okay, this is the front runner.
Yeah, I would say he has broken into the Oscars at this point. Just as
but but you know what I mean, like when he actually gets awards. Like he's never won Best Director when he fucking should have by now. So Dunkirk. I hope this is that first movie that actually gets in there. But it's gonna be tough. 2023.
It's gonna be tough, but he's gonna, and I don't mean this in a bad way, because you guys know Nolan is my favorite director, but yes, it's a biopic, but he's gonna find a way to Nolan it up. If you know what I mean. In his story. This is great. This is I'm eager to see Robert Downey Jr. with the talent that he has working not only outside Marvel, and I'm not one of those people, I want to see him work outside Marvel to actually he has given amazing performances in Marvel. He should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actor in 2019. I still stand by that. But I want to see him working with one of the big name directors. I want to see him have a standout role. Because look, he did The Judge. The Judge was all right. He was great in The Judge, by the way. The Judge just happened to be all right. Didn't make too much of an impact. Doolittle was Doolittle. So I want to see him working with a commanding director, one of the big names, as he did with Fincher in 2007 and made Zodiac. And he's great in Zodiac. And I bet he's going to be great here as one of the big names in an ensemble of great actors. Again, I don't want to shit on Matt Damon, because Matt Damon is one of the most reliable actors Hollywood has. He's consistently great. He was great in The Last Duel. I really didn't care too much for Stillwater, but he's great in Stillwater.
Yep.
But it's the novelty of Robert Downey Jr. now being attached to a big name movie directed by a big name director. This is exciting, man. We're all positive so far on this show right now. This is a night for me, Zach. How about you?
Super positive. I'm just happy to see Robert Downey Jr. acting again, personally.
Yeah.
So yeah, bring it on, man. Nolan, Oppenheimer, great cast. Let's see who else comes in. Michael Caine, still waiting. He technically didn't retire.
That one doesn't even need to be announced. You just know he's going to be there.
Do you think he will? Right? I'd be kind of shocked if he didn't.
I'll be shocked.
I'm going to ask you, what is one actor that Nolan has worked with beforehand that you hope shows up in this movie, besides Michael Caine?
Al Pacino. Why not?
Oh, that's a good one.
It's been a while.
That's a good one.
Or
it was only
Hilary Swank,
Insomnia.
you know?
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll be honest. The one that I want Hugh Jackman.
I think I would love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't want to see Hugh Jackman. You know I love Hugh Jackman.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he, because you have Cillian Murphy, you have Emily Blunt, for better or worse, I'm not saying who's a better actor and whatnot, but Robert Downey Jr. and Matt Damon are already bigger names than Cillian Murphy and Emily Blunt. I think Hugh Jackman would be an even bigger name, or at least on the level of Robert Downey Jr. I don't think we need any more of those sized names. That's all. If he gets announced, I'll be like, awesome, let's go, let's get it, Nolan.
You know what? I just totally recognized Cillian Murphy and Emily Blunt were in A Quiet Place 2, and they're also in this, but now they're married in this one. That's interesting. Yeah. That's fun.
All right, let's get into our fourth main topic, and the topic after this one is the one where I'm going to be a little bit negative. I'm just going to warn you guys. But Avatar: The Last Airbender live action Netflix news, everyone. We have cast. No, Zach and I have nothing to do with the matter. But
no, we casted them. Let's just be honest.
We did? Okay, well, it was us. We were there when we gave the approval to Netflix. We gave the thumbs up. We are responsible for the casting of Daniel Dae Kim as Fire Lord Ozai. Zach, this is one of the roles we were most curious about because it's one of the key roles in Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's the big bad. It's the Thanos.
I'm still fingers crossing that what's his face from Kim's Convenience.
Paul Sun-Young Lee.
Yep.
Is Uncle Iroh. Same.
It's too perfect. It's too perfect.
Too perfect.
Because imagine when we get that Uncle Iroh
the account is following him. The account is following him. So hopes up right now.
If he gets it, it's because of us. I don't give a fuck what anyone
says. It's because of us. It's because of us. Because Kim's Convenience is fucking awesome. By the way, let's finish this topic because we do have a super chat. But yeah, one of the big roles in the show has been guessed. One of the most important roles. We guessed that the next one was going to be Azula and then Fire Lord Ozai, but we were wrong. Nevertheless, this is exciting. I think Daniel Dae Kim is not the type of actor I expected to be cast in this role. But as soon as I saw it, I'm like, yes, he's a great actor. He's young enough that he can do the action scenes himself, but also he's old enough that he can be believable in the position of a Fire Lord Ozai. That is an old man, quote unquote old man. And yeah, I think this is great. And it's moving the show along.
Yes, and I want to give a little bit of a tidbit on here that I heard. So I know a lot of people for this show. A lot of people were mad when the original creators left. Which I think it's good that they left because now look what they're doing at fucking Paramount. They get to do whatever they want with Netflix.
Yeah.
The reason they left is because Netflix wanted to follow the entire story of Avatar with not many changes. The creators wanted to change things and actually add. Now, there's nothing wrong with either way of what they wanted to do. Netflix wanted to go more direct, and the creators wanted to expand a little bit more. And they wanted a little bit more of a bigger budget, talking in the $200 million range, which Netflix wasn't trying to give them. So I actually am getting more back excited about this show. I think the casting has been on point. Daniel Dae Kim as Fire Lord Ozai is insane. I'm just wondering how it's going to go. From what I've heard, season 1 is book 1, and every episode is an hour.
Yeah.
So
they just announced who's going to direct the final episode of season 1, which is The Siege of the North, which is the finale of season 1. So yeah, and because the episodes are 1 hour, they can do it in 10 episodes. I feel. Just curious that the director for the final episode of Avatar season 1 is a director that has directed episodes of Jessica Jones and Daredevil and Punisher, and she is named Jet, which to me is the worst character in the Avatar series.
I know we're not getting Toph this season, but I can't wait till we finally do. I know, but I can't wait.
Maybe it's the post-credit scene.
Oh, maybe. But
or
this is
maybe
gonna be
they'll
special.
announce it either way. This is gonna be special. I really like this casting, and at this point, I know you have a few characters, much necessary characters to cast still, but at this point, I'm just eagerly awaiting like the first look pictures at the live action characters with their official look. But this is great. Thumbs up for me. Zach, how about you?
Big thumbs up. I read this. I was at work, and my coworker who sits next to me is a huge Avatar fan. I'm like, hey, you know who Daniel Day Kim is? He goes, oh, I love him. I'm like, he's gonna be Fire Lord Ozai in the live action. He goes, that is
Fuck yes.
That's perfect. Yeah, exactly. Like we were all freaking out. So,
all right. Our good friend of Peace, before we move on to our penultimate topic, sends in super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel of Peace. Show t-shirt with front and behind, especially Zach. Let's go with Zach right away then. Do you have something in the back, Zach? Solo layout. There it is. Ooh, nice. I'm going to take your question out of the screen. Oh, that's Sasuke. I expected it to be an Itachi shirt, but that's cool. That's awesome. And then, I love the back, but I like the front. I love the front being like there's just like in the corner in your chest. There's the Sharingan.
Every time I wear this in public,
that's it.
Every time I wear this in public, I always have someone ask, "Where'd you get that?" And I'm like, "I got it from a fucking like pretty much a thrift store." Like I don't
know. All right, and that's Zach's. Mine is a simple Marvel T-shirt. Hang on, let me give you the solo layout. Mine is a Excelsior, and in each letter you have different Marvel characters. There's Elektra, Charles Xavier, Captain America, Polaris. This is a weird bunch of characters I'm realizing now. Loki, Spider-Man. Then we have Rogue, Dr. Octopus, and Iron. Oh, it's the letters. It's the initials. Wait, then this isn't Polaris. I guess it's Polaris. No, never mind. Yeah, but it makes sense. I don't know who this is then, because everyone is an initial. Like Elektra is the E, Charles Xavier is the X, Captain America is the C. This looks like Polaris. Oh, it's Enchantress. It's Enchantress. They look too much alike.
Too many characters.
But yes, that's my shirt. Excelsior, and then a Marvel character in each letter. Thank you so much for the question, and thank you so much for supporting the channel at Beasts. All right, Zach, take us into our penultimate topic, the one where I will be personally kind of negative on.
So Wicked movie finally casts as Glinda, and how do you say the other one? And Elphaba. Ariana Grande is playing Glinda, correct? And then Cynthia Erivo is playing Elphaba. Yeah. I don't know anything about Wicked. I don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
No, I know nothing. I know what it's. I know it's Wizard of Oz and stuff like that. Yeah. But I'll say this: both of them can sing very well. Especially Cynthia. Especially Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. They're both incredible singers.
Yes, that's.
The
singing part is not the problem.
I don't. I've just heard the age thing's an issue, I guess.
Mm-hmm. The age thing is weird because it spans a lot of years and they're around the same age. They are in college together and whatnot. So Wicked is a very famous musical, obviously, and it takes place. So it's a grand scoping story that takes place through a lot of years from when they were kids, growing up, going to school and whatnot, and then it happens in the back while the Wizard of Oz is happening, and then it happens even after that. And it tells the story of Glinda and Elphaba and how they're actually really good friends despite what the Wizard of Oz told us. I've seen the show live here in London. It's a great show. It's a great story. It's a story that I liked on stage, and I think it can work so well as a film. And after seeing In the Heights, I was very confident in this because of John M. Chu. And I hate the casting of Glinda. Now look, obviously I'm happy to possibly be proven wrong if Ariana Grande gives a great performance. But I've never seen her give a great performance. And you have to start somewhere. Sure, I agree. But it's one of those, it's like a certain someone in Eternals, Zach, where I don't like the casting because it's such a big name. I don't care who you're cast as. You're always going to be, in this case, Ariana Grande. I don't care who she's cast as. She's always going to be distractingly Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba, I think it's great. I don't really know how it works when it comes to the age difference. It's weird that they wouldn't cast. Nothing against Cynthia Erivo, but I would have gone with someone around Ariana Grande's age for Elphaba, and someone else other than Ariana Grande for Glinda, or even younger. Just I can't see Ariana Grande playing someone that is Cynthia Erivo's age, and I can't see Cynthia Erivo playing someone that is Ariana Grande's age. Because Ariana Grande, she's my age, I believe. She's 28. She looks even younger than that. I would not give her 28 years. I would not have guessed she's 28 years old. But yeah, I'm half of me is happy for Cynthia Erivo. The other half is very unhappy with the casting for Ariana Grande. I'll be happy if I'm proven wrong. I'll fully admit it. You guys know I have no issues with that. I'm happy to be proven wrong whenever I'm not excited for something. This is just this is just one thing I am not trusting right now. I'll have to really be convinced. So this one I can't knight because of the Ariana Grande part, but I can send to the dungeon in good conscience because of the Cynthia Erivo part. So I'm going to send this one away, just because I'm very conflicted about it. What do you think, Zach?
I don't really care, if I'm being honest. I was just like, cool. Another big musical from Universal. Their last two have fucking sucked.
So you don't really care?
No. I like the director. I mean, he just did In the Heights, and I fucking loved In the Heights. Yeah. It's just, again, Universal's done two.
What was their
big
last
musicals.
one? Oh yeah, no, never mind. Don't answer the question. I know. Yeah. The less we talk about that one, the better. Yeah. But before we move on, by the way, guys, before we move on to our final topic, this is the earliest question I can get to from Lady Aaron. So if you have a question that you typed in or a weekly ranking that you typed in before this, make sure to type it again. Just StreamYard is not helping us. So I'm going to leave this one up for now, just so you guys know the ones that are up before that. But let's move on to our final topic. We have 5 minutes until the hour mark. So let's cram as much discussion as we can into this one because, ladies and gentlemen, Eternals is finally out, and it has become officially the first rotten movie from Marvel Studios on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, to me, I've told you guys how I feel about Eternals in the beginning, so really good movie. Does it deserve the rotten rating? No. And I certainly was surprised when I first watched the film, and I'm like, especially from critics, I really don't get why this
I'm
is
more
getting
surprised
such
that
a
the
bad
audience
reception.
scores in the 80s.
Oh,
well,
I'm not.
I'm going to bring it up
I'm
right now.
I even expected it to be higher.
Okay, so I only want to say I'm surprised because all of my friends who fall in that general audience were not big on this movie. None of them were. None of them were.
Okay.
They liked it, but I asked them, I was like, if you were to do a Rotten, they're like, I probably wouldn't have put, I probably would have just been like, like, it's fine. Like, and that's everyone.
But it's fine means positive.
Yes, that's true, but that's where I'm, so first, my bingo card for 2021 did not have Eternals being a negative score.
Me neither.
Like, flat out, I did not. And it definitely didn't have Shang-Chi having a higher score than Eternals. I expected Eternals to be like 98, 99. I mean, that's Chloe. It's Chloe Zhao.
Yeah.
I'm fucking baffled by this. I have friends who are critics who have also been on Rotten Tomatoes and they didn't like the movie. And I get their point of view, but I'm still baffled. I'm going to be honest with you. I think in years to come, this movie will work better for people. I have, like, thinking on it, this is my maybe small issues. I don't think it's that rewatchable. I mean, I'm seeing it again tonight, but after that, I don't know if I'm going to see it again until it comes home. And that's just, there's something about the movie that I don't feel is as rewatchable as Shang-Chi. And maybe that's how I feel right now because I've only seen it once.
Yeah. So at this point, I have seen it twice.
Shang-Chi, you like more the first or second time?
About the same, because the things I like were enhanced. The things I didn't like were there still.
Can you... I want to... So, we're not talking spoilers, but I do have two issues with the movie. One, I can't really get into without talking spoilers, so I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, you know what my biggest issue with the film is, and I cannot get
And it's funny, that's not my issue. I have a different issue with one of the character choices. I guess can I say the character's name? It's not... I don't think it's a giant spoiler. It's just, I'm not going to say what they do, or I just want to say who.
I think you can say with which character you have an issue. Maybe you just can't say what the issue is. Because I don't know what he would.
Yeah, I'll say it. It's Kingo.
Okay.
I have an issue with Kingo's thing towards the end.
I think so too. But it's not even with him. It's what the film decides to do with him near the end.
Well, and that's where I was like, I like the idea of it, because the whole film is about humanity. It really is about centering these gods as human.
Yes.
And every single character has something that brings them down to humanity. And that's what I love. I was thinking about doing a video where I rank each Eternal, but it would just be me pretty much talking about, these ones are all tied for 1, 2, and 3, because I love them all. There's not a bad character. And even my least favorite is still a really good character.
I agree. Which one would you say is the least favorite?
I go in between either Sprite, or honest to God, Icarus. Those are my, or Ajax. I don't know. Those are my bottom 3, I think, because I can tell you my top 3 that's all tied. It's Druig, Phastos, and Makari. And Thena. So those are my top 4. Actually, no. Let me go back and reframe this. I think Kingo is one of my least favorites. Even though I love Kumail Nanjiani in the movie, it's because of the choice they made with him.
Yeah.
That I didn't agree with.
I got you.
It's just I don't know. I still love them.
Icarus is certainly up there. Not for me, not as I expected, but not only as an Eternal, but as one of the most complex, fascinating characters in the MCU.
He's very complex. Yeah. Maybe it's just because of something that...
I love what the film did with him, except for one thing. And it's a big thing, and we cannot get into it.
You'll get into it today, though, right?
But yeah, this is... What was that?
Your video.
Yeah, I'm doing the video. Don't worry. That's what I addressed in the video.
That's why. Just teasing it for everyone else.
I got you. I appreciate you, brother. But yeah, look. To me... Eternals being rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, does it make sense? No. Do I really care? No, because you guys know I never really care for Rotten Tomatoes.
I only have one aspect of why I care.
Not anything against the people who post on Rotten Tomatoes and are tomato approved and certified, or however you want to call it. We have, at least, Zach, we have friends, but we have 2 good friends that are tomato approved, tomato meter approved. And it's nothing against them or any of the other people that we know that go to Rotten Tomatoes. But this system on Rotten Tomatoes is fundamentally flawed. Look, 100% means there's 50% positive, 50% negative. And the moment you get to 59, you're already, quote-unquote, rotten. So that already
it should be
50-50.
I mean, it's at 48 right now. It's at 48 right now, so it'd still be rotten.
Yeah. Okay, fine. But that would mean that it only got to rotten 2% ago, you know? Yeah. So to me, that's a fundamental flaw.
Why do you think people didn't like this movie?
I got no idea.
Or hated it.
Fathom.
Do you think it's expectations? Do you think it's expectations?
No, because these are critics. I trust...
There's some critics that are Rotten Tomatoes that I don't.
I trust the majority. Obviously, there are exceptions, and you and I know which people we're talking about when we say there are exceptions. We're not going to call out anybody. That's not what our show is about.
Can I read some tidbits from the reviews? I just like the negative ones. I'm just going to read the opening ones.
Right.
Regardless of Zhao, I'm not going to give names either. I don't want people to attack them. Regardless of Zhao's and Marvel's intentions, Eternals is a parade of faces without experience, a movie that reaches back and forth through history and comes back empty-handed. That's a big thing I keep hearing is about the issue with the storytelling. I don't know about you. I didn't think it was confusing. I thought it was perfectly done, and I usually hate movies that go back and forth, back and forth. This one I thought did great.
Look, I will say this as one of my issues with the film. I think it creates a kind of narrative whiplash. Not that it doesn't fully work, not that it doesn't fully have an effect, but there's a kind of narrative whiplash when you're constantly going back and forth in time, and then just in the present, the characters are even in themselves traveling around the world. So there comes a point where you're kind of, okay, I'm not able to stop. Where are we now? And you have to catch yourself a little bit. But the characters, the arcs, the themes are the ones that ground and center the story and have it focus up. The world building is sensational. You wonder, if you watch the movie, I don't know how you don't understand how integral and important the traveling back and forth is. Again, there's a balance to it all. And I think there is a bit of narrative whiplash by jumping back and forth, but those are incremental tools and elements for the story to work that I think make it work. Again, this is my opinion. Clearly, not everyone thinks the same. But this is one of those
me.
I truly don't get. This is what, Zach, I was expecting this. Seeing the movie, I'm just happy the audience is really enjoying. But if anything, I expected the audience to... I wouldn't say the audience to be rotten, but I would expect the audience to be like, yeah, okay, like the 60s. 68, 67, you know?
The fact that it's 84 is awesome.
Like very high. It's awesome. It should be higher.
So this is my last comment I want to make. You know, critics love Dune, but a lot of their issues with Eternals is it's boring, it's exposition heavy, yada yada yada. I'm
Dune
sorry.
has much more exposition.
I was about to say. I was about to say. Like,
and I like Dune more than Eternals.
I love Dune more too. It's my favorite film of the
year. So just to state that,
but it's true.
Obvious, but Dune does have more exposition.
That's why
look. Exposition is the issue. I have the biggest one. I have the biggest, no pun intended, issue with when it comes to critics, because a ton of critics, and I'm not saying everyone, obviously there are exceptions, but a lot of times, Zach, I find that critics just, a movie has exposition, rotten, it's awful, but a movie needs exposition. It's about how you deliver that. And I get it.
Eternals
delivers its exposition very well.
Yeah, I mean, it has a lot, and I can get it being a lot for one person. But I walked out of this movie, and like my friend I took with me, he thought it was fine. He goes, I probably won't watch that again, but he goes, I liked it enough to where I want to see more of the characters. Me, I walked out and I was like, I'm fucking speechless because I don't know what to say, but I know I love that. And I think that's my thing, is that it's not even like an appreciate, like, oh, I appreciate Eternals. I loved Eternals. I think this is one of Marvel's best movies. When I do my, like, I didn't do a typical ranking this time. I did a tier list because it is hard for me to place where it's at. I think it's at my number 8 right now. I would probably keep it there, but I don't know. I think I still like Shang-Chi maybe more because of rewatchability, but I went into this movie thinking I'm going to like 4 of the characters. The rest I'll probably think are fine. The way that Chloe Zhao actually gave depth to every fucking character. It is amazing. This does not feel like a Marvel film at times. It feels like the Chloe Zhao movie. And me and Ren talked about this. I hope that they make another one, or they do more with these characters. Given, yes, how the movie ends, they have to do something with them. Yeah. And they will return. They have to. But it says it at the end of the credits. You can't fucking lie to me. But just saying, I will be very mad if Bob Chapek goes, well, let's not.
So this is not on me. This is a good point that I saw John Campea make, but Chapek is so uninterested. He doesn't even get involved in this shit either way or the other. So
I know, but like
with the positive audience reception, and we'll see how well it does box office wise. In Feige, we trust. Feige's gonna find a way when nobody look. Are you really telling me? Are you really telling me, critics, that this is worse than Iron Man 2?
exactly
Thor: The Dark World? Than The Incredible
Captain
Hulk,
Marvel.
which I like more than most
Yeah.
people? Are you telling me
Captain
this is
Marvel.
worse than The Incredible Hulk? Captain Marvel, Black Widow, really? Our friend Griffin,
dude, I
he
love
loves
Black Widow,
Widow.
and so did Griffin.
Yeah.
I mean, me and him are really into Black Widow.
No, but I remember
think-
seeing his video on Black Widow, and he's very much into the James Bond, the spy film. So obviously, Griffin specifically, I understand why he likes Black Widow more.
But he hated this movie. He hated this
I know.
movie.
I don't
He seen it twice.
understand that part. I don't understand that part, but I do get why he likes Black Widow.
But you know what? You know what? And Griffin, if you're watching this, I fucking love you, buddy. But you hated Iron Man 3 for so fucking goddamn long. Now it's your second favorite MCU film. So, just saying. Watch it in a couple years.
Awesome.
I think it's funny though because it feels like
we're taking this shit out on him.
It feels like the opposite of Last Jedi, where the audience was fucking hating on the movie, and then like the critics.
And to be fair, I don't think critics are hating on.
Are you serious?
There are some things.
No, I think they are. I really think if
the majority, I would trust that they're not.
The way I feels for me is like I mean it's not like a toxic way like Last Jedi was, but it's like if a critic does not like this movie, it's very much that they don't like it, which is just baffling to me, man.
I don't get it. Eternals is awesome, everyone. Go watch it. I'm going to go a third time tomorrow because I have something on Monday.
Did Bruna see it yet?
Yes, she came with me yesterday.
What'd she think? I'm just curious.
I think at the very least she really liked it. I'm going to ask her to come to the chat and tell you. Okay. Hang on. Zach is asking what you thought of Eternals. Come to the chat to tell him. All right. Message sent. Eternals is awesome, people. Go support it. I'm going to see it. I'm going to try and go see it again tomorrow because on Monday I have a concert and on Tuesday I have a special premiere for something. So stay tuned to my Instagram and Twitter to find out what it is. Because it's about something I'm going to be covering on the channel very soon. So yeah. Alrighty. Is Zach gone? Or am I think Zach's gone. I think Zach might have lost internet. So I'm going to remove Zach because his image is frozen on me. I can't hear him. And maybe you guys can't hear me. I don't even know. But anyway, okay, Zach's gone. He'll be back in a minute. Let's start with, so as you can see, this message from Lady Aaron, that's the earliest one I can get to. So if you have any message before that you want us to get to, please let us know, guys, by typing it in again. Let's start with Luis Feliciano, weekly ranking, number 2, Glee, number 1, Hairspray, 2007 remake. I think we covered this last week when you shared your ranking with Glee Season 1. Never seen Glee, so can't comment on it. Never seen Hairspray. Never seen the show. I didn't even know the 2007 movie was a remake, so I never seen that one or the original, apparently. But thank you for sharing, Luis. All right. Luis Luciano also seeing Eternals tonight, and he used the heart with the colors of Icarus. Thank you for sharing, Luis, and hope you enjoy it. Cannot wait to know your thoughts, man. All righty. The View with Drew. I know. I say it all the time. I say it every single week, but that's a really cool name. What do you guys think is the best movie of the year so far for Shang-Chi? For you, I'm guessing. For you, Shang-Chi is the best movie of the year. Shang-Chi is probably still in my top 10. The best movie of the year for me is either Dune or Malcolm and Marie. For me, I know one of those is a very unpopular opinion. Let me see if Zach has sent a message. Wi-Fi went out on Zach's end. Let me just tell him not to worry. No worries. No worries, bro. assumed so. All right. Yeah, to me, it's either Malcolm and Marie or Dune. I legit still haven't decided for myself. Those are the two movies that I've given an A+ to this year. So if you haven't seen the reviews and don't know why I gave it an A+, go check them out. Movie Fan says Eternals was incredible. Yes, brother. Yes, it was. And Zach's back. Zach Attack. He's back.
Yep, one Wi-Fi router.
All right. Zach, what is the best movie of the year for you? For View with Drew is Shang-Chi still.
Wait, what's the question?
What is the best movie of the year for you?
Dune.
Dune, okay.
Bruna's in here.
Bruna's in here. We'll get to her question. I asked her. She said, okay, I'll be there. Eric Thorpe, I definitely love The Eternals despite some issues, which is fair. It's the only Phase 4 movie I really loved so far. All right. Eric Thorpe also says, I think the issues Eternals had other MCU movies had yet. They didn't get as bad of reviews, so it drives me crazy that the one that was actually unique, Rotten Tomatoes gives right. So again, Rotten Tomatoes didn't do anything. They just aggregated, and I have fundamental issues with an aggregator. I don't get why an aggregator is so interesting or important. We allow, as a society, we live in a society. We allow Rotten Tomatoes to be this important. I think it's on all of us. Movie Fan, did you guys just see the new Stranger Things teaser? It looks totally different. Zach, I didn't see it because the show had already started. Did you see it?
No, because we had started. I don't want to see it. Okay. Just give me a fucking release date. Just give me a release date. Stop showing me stuff. I don't know why we keep showing the little bits of the season. Just say what date it's coming out. Like, stop it. It's been 3 fucking years. They're planning on one more season. Like, come on, just get it over with.
Eric Thorpe, but Ren, I can't agree that Chloe Zhao is the best director ever. Like you said, I never said that in my review. Like I said in our review, Eternals I loved, but I didn't like her other movies much at all. I don't get the hype for them. Dude, that number one, that's totally fine. You don't have to love our movies. What I said in my review was she is the reigning, defending best director in the world because she's the one that just won the award for best director at the Oscars. That's all I said. And next year, Kenneth Branagh. Let's say Kenneth Branagh wins for Belfast best director. Next year, Kenneth Branagh will be the reigning, defending, undisputed best director in the world.
About Belfast.
Real fast about Belfast. Let's go.
There's a Thor Easter egg in there, which I love.
I fucking forgot. I fucking forgot to address that in my review, but I remember I saw that and I was like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
You thought of me. Admit it.
I exactly thought of you. I was like, hey, it's like Ren. That's what he would be doing as a kid, is sitting on the corner of a street reading a comic.
But also acknowledgement of the best Thor movie.
Exactly.
This is a good question. Hang on, did we address? Yeah, I addressed her. So Eric, I didn't say she's the best director. She's not the best director ever for me. Nolan is the best director ever for me. But she is the reigning. She has the title right now. And like, if this was a wrestling company or a boxing company, she has the title. And we'll only find out who the next one is next year.
Yep.
And maybe it's her again. Maybe she still gets nominated for Eternals, which won't happen. But yeah. The View with Drew, what do you think is the most disappointing movie of the year? That's a great question. Zach,
I have one. I have two.
Yeah?
Both horror movies. One I expected to love and one I expected to really like. First is Antlers. I was dying to see this movie. I love Scott Cooper. I love Del Toro.
That one.
But waited 2 years for this movie. I love the Wendigos and the whole mythology behind them, and I thought it was terrible. The more I think on that movie, the more I don't think it's great. Next one's Halloween Kills. I love the 2018 Halloween. I loved just Michael Myers, and while I don't hate the movie, I think it's fine. I just was very disappointed in that one. I expected it to be great.
Yeah. For me, I was very disappointed with Mortal Kombat Legends Battle of the Realms. That was very, 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 very disappointing. Candyman was very disappointing.
Oh, I liked it. Oh, Snake Eyes. Could have been better. Should have been better.
Oh, Snake Eyes.
Terrible.
But I don't know. To me, at least, I don't know if Snake Eyes would be.
I thought it was going to be good. That was. Just
I thought it was going to be good, but I was not like, oh my god, cannot wait for Snake Eyes.
The
Suicide. No, I'm kidding.
That's really it.
I gave you a heart attack for a second.
Yeah, you did.
I don't know. I haven't been that disappointed. I'm realizing just now I haven't been that disappointed this year. Injustice. Injustice was
Eternals. We have its money. How much money did it make?
How much?
$30.7 million, edging out Shang-Chi's 29.5. Yes. But Saturday and Sunday drops may be bigger for Eternals. Since Shang-Chi had a stronger word of mouth. Plus, Monday was a holiday. So, we're going to have to see. Right now, it's looking to finish around 70 million.
70 million is good. That's good. That's very, very good. Now, let's remember, though, had it been very well received, as it should, by critics and everyone, it probably would make around, what do you think, Zach, 85, 90?
I think it would have 100 if it was the same receiving as strong. But I want to say this. I'm not that worried about opening weekend. I'm worried about next weekend. That's what I'm worried about. Yeah. Because drops have been pretty big nowadays. And Shang-Chi's had the best drops. Shang-Chi and Free Guy have had the best drops. And Dune actually, we didn't talk about it, but Dune had a really good drop. Dune actually had a really good drop last week. I hope Eternals does really good everywhere else, but it's also banned in a couple of countries for stupid fucking reasons.
That's true. So. I forgot that. For not misogynistic, for xenophobic.
And it still doesn't have a release date in China.
I think it will, honestly. All right. Lady Erin. Well, I know one movie that is going to be on Ren's top 10 movies of 2020. I guess she means Dune.
He might see 10 better movies by then.
Leo says, the Eternals deserve Dune-level hype. After What If Episode 9, I knew Eternals were going to be good, and it was. I don't know what If Episode 9 has to do with it, but I'm happy. I'm happy you enjoyed it as well, my friend. Lady Erin, did we also just get an honorable mention reveal as well for Muren from the best list with the Eternals? No, I don't know. Again, I don't think on my list too much. Like I think of like the top 5 first, and then come time to make the lists, I figure out what else to do.
There will be no Digimon this year, though.
No, there won't, unfortunately. Devue Drew, out of all the Eternals, who's your favorite character? For sure, Icarus. Followed by Gilgamesh, followed by Athena,
Gilgamesh,
followed by Cersei, then Makari.
She's so good.
Phastos, Druig.
Druig was so fucking good.
Kingo, and then Stripe or Kingo are probably my. But again, I like them all. They're all.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Barry Keoghan. This might be one of my favorite performances of his.
He's great. It's
so different. It's so different though from what he's done before.
Two Irish lads. And,
I like that he actually got to use his accent, like his actual.
Yeah, and Richard Madden as well.
Yeah.
And 2 very different Irish accents.
Phastos,
Eric Thorpe says Dane is my favorite guy. Dane was great. Leo. I'm now officially ready for Spider-Man No Way Home. I still haven't seen the No Way Home trailer. That's awesome. I'm just ready to go to the theater and see it and be surprised. I'm getting low-key super excited. Get excited, everyone. Get excited.
So do you not know that Superman's in the movie?
Of the year. I'm so happy for your excitement, Leo. Thank you for sharing, man. And as I said, Eric Thorpe, Dane is his favorite character, and we'll see more of Dane in the future. Movie Fan next week so we'll have a section for it. It will be like one of our topics, and during our topic, then during when we're addressing that topic, we'll be able to talk spoilers. No spoilers, but Crow should have been way more interesting, like in the original comic. I think they used him very well in the context of the film. I think Crow should have been better utilized had the movie had more time to breathe, which is what I would have. I would have given this film endgame runtime, guys. No exaggeration. 2 hours and 30 is a great runtime. I would have given this movie 3 hours. You just let her breathe.
I want to ask you: do you think she has a cut that's 3 hours? Do you think she has a cut that's over 3 hours?
Not 3 hours, but I wouldn't be surprised if a cut exists that is like Bond's runtime. You know, I would have given Bond this runtime, and I would have given Eternals Bond's runtime.
Oh man, Bond I thought had the perfect run. I was shocked that how when that movie ended.
I would have cut a few. I would have cut a few things. In Bond, that is. Tanjiro. There you are. The viewer Drew, where would Deviants rank with other MCU villains? The Deviants overall
Garbage.
Very low. Crow himself, I wouldn't say garbage. They serve their purpose. They're very functional. Crow himself, I would say he's probably ranked amongst the middle because he has a very good motivation, a very rightful motivation. They just don't fully weaponize it. All right. The movie database. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all enjoying your day. Thank you so much. You too, my friend. I really enjoyed Spencer. The very first shot sets the mood, plus the pheasant in the following scene. The opening shot of Spencer. My God, the whole movie is shot immaculately. I wouldn't be surprised, nor would I be against Spencer winning Best Cinematography at the Oscars. Do you agree, Zach?
Maybe. I can see it.
Okay, I was like, did we lose him again? Oh, shit.
Maybe you did for a second.
WC Scott, hey, anyone more excited for Morpheus? I'm going to assume, maybe wrongfully so, but I'm going to assume you mean Morbius. Zach, did you watch the trailer for Morbius? Did it leave you more excited?
Actually, yeah. I'm actually kind of sold on the film now. Does it look great? Yeah.
Oh.
Great's a subjective word. Does it look fun? Sure. I've just, from my recollection, Morbius has never been an anti-hero, right? He's always been evil.
Never
from
been
everything
what?
I've ever. An anti-hero.
No. He's been anti-hero.
Yes?
He's not been a good guy like Spider-Man.
But I mean, like Venom.
Man,
like Venom. Venom flashes back and forth a lot.
He has.
See, I've never read those, and I've never been introduced. So maybe that's why I guess I've always looked at him as a villain. So my issue with the movie is it gives me. There's too many Easter eggs about Spider-Man, and it very much makes me worried that I'm telling you, if fucking Tom Holland gets kicked out of the MCU.
He's gonna. I've been telling you that.
No, I know, I know it's gonna happen, and I think it's the dumbest fucking thing. Like, Sony, I know you watch our show every week, so just hear me out. You have multiple Spider-Men in the world of Spider-Man. You could do Ben Reilly. You could do Miles Morales.
The best Spider-Man.
You could do, I don't give a fuck, bring back Tobey Maguire, give him $35 million per scene and make him do it and get in the suit.
That one I don't agree with.
Get an Andrew Garfield. I don't give a fuck. Do not take Tom Holland out of the MCU. Do not. Sure, I don't care if you bring him back and forth, do whatever the fuck you want him to do. I don't care. But if you take him out...
If they bring him back and forth, I'd be happy with that.
I'd still be annoyed.
Compromise.
I still think that's fucking stupid. I still think it's stupid. Leave him in one world.
It is, but it's a good compromise.
It's dumb. It's fucking stupid.
All right. Weekly ranking from a movie fan. Number 1, Eternals. Number 2, Shang-Chi. I'm so happy you guys in Australia finally are able to see Shang-Chi. Number 3, The Many Saints in Newark. Number 4, Halloween Kills Rewatch. I agree with their ranking, maybe besides Shang-Chi and Eternals. I switched them around, but apart from that, I agree with that. Thank you for sharing. And General Kenobi says, I saw it yesterday. I loved it. Druig has an Irish accent. Yes, he does. My Irish accent is awful.
Irish accent.
But I can't help but mic it. That was certainly not Irish.
Yes, it is.
Oi, my name is Omega.
Oi, my name is
right.
General Kenobi. Hello there.
All right, Joe Fletcher. Do you guys think there is a chance of either... hang on. I turned on iTunes by touching my headphones, which always happens. I get stupid. Joe Fletcher, do you guys think there's a chance of either Han Solo or Lando in Boba Fett? I need Olin or Nolan, or Donald Glover back as these characters, as I love them so. I love him in Solo too. Is there a chance?
They're too young, in my opinion. I don't see it happening. They're too young at that age. You gotta imagine, guys. Solo came.
Forget Alden and Glover. Then, like, let's say they do a Luke on either Solo or Lando. Is there a chance? I'd say there's a chance, but I would say I'll give it 10%. Honestly, if anything, I give more percentage to Han over Lando. I'd give a 1% chance of Lando showing up.
I want to ask you, because it's been said that this is kind of like the bridge between the next season of Mandalorian, and I'm sure we'll see Din. I'm sure we'll see Din in here, maybe like 1 or 2 episodes. Mm-hmm. Is Grogu going to be in here? Does he come back?
No, not in this one.
I want to ask you, do you think Grogu is going to be in season 3 then, Amanda?
Yes, he is. He is.
You think?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you think his training will be done and stuff, or no?
I don't know. I think something's going to happen that he has to be brought back and then continues to take care of him.
Okay. Now, my last thing I want to ask you: do you think we see all the bounty hunters from Empire Strikes Back? I think so.
Didn't some of them die in Empire Strikes Back?
I didn't think they died. I didn't think they died.
I think some of them died at least.
Let's see.
I don't know. Can't remember.
Dengar's alive.
Okay.
I know Boss
Joe Fletcher. I think Taika Waititi is perfect for a movie like this, and I love every single one of his films. However, I don't want Taika to become a company man for Disney. Number 2. He's doing Star Wars, Thor 4, and I think he will do Thor 5 and now Tower of Terror. I want him to also make smaller films like Jojo Rabbit and a sports movie coming up. Don't worry, these films, these tentpole films, are always something that these directors do in between making their smaller, their intimate films that they want to do for them. It's as the old adage goes. It's one for you, one for me, and Taika will do it that way. Don't you worry. All right.
Yeah, I mean, we got 2 films of his next year.
We do. I mean, if one of them comes out. The View Drew, question for everyone. How would you rank the comic book movies that have come out so far this year? It's the 4 Marvel ones plus Suicide Squad, right, Zach? Are we missing anyone?
Suicide Squad, Zack Snyder's Justice League,
Zack Snyder's Justice League,
Shang-Chi,
right.
Black Widow. So there's 5.
Comic book movies 2021. And Venom. And Venom. And then there's the end. Let's just do the live action ones. So at the very bottom for me is Venom Let There Be Carnage. Then I'd say Black Widow. And we haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home yet.
Or the Kingsman, because that's technically
or the Kingsman too. So Venom Let There Be Carnage, over that Black Widow. Over that Zack Snyder's Justice League, over that the Suicide Squad, then Eternals, and then Shang-Chi. Those last 2 are the only ones I'm still, maybe I'll move it, maybe I won't, but I'll stand by that one for now. How about you, Zach?
My number 1's the Suicide Squad. Number 2 is tied right now with Eternals and Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Wow.
I need to see Eternals again. Then I can kind of decide. Next would be Shang-Chi. Next would be Black Widow. and then next would be Venom. But let me tell you, the Venom, while I liked it, so like these are all high. Black Widow's right there. Venom's a little bit dropped down because it's just fine. It's fun. I enjoyed it. It's whatever.
Alrighty. Excuse me.
Chupapi.
Chupapi Munyango.
Chupapi Munyango.
Movie fan, any update on Avatar 2? Not on my end. I'm not aware of anything. Zach,
Still
are you
coming next
aware
year.
of anything?
Still coming next year. It's not.
Right.
It won't get pushed back. I'll tell you that. But since there's rumors that Rogue Squadron might get pushed back a year, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with Avatar 3. But this is my guess. I think Rogue Squadron goes to May. I don't think it'll go December. Actually, wait, no, because Indy's now at May. Huh. That's interesting. We'll see.
We'll see. Lady Aaron. Ren, speaking of Ed Sheeran, nobody spoke of it. I'm kidding. Speaking of Ed Sheeran, which we talked how fucking dare you? I will expel you from this show. Which we talked about last week in the live questions. I wanted to tell you that I got the whole album for number 6 collaborations project, and I can't wait to hear it. That's awesome. That's a great album. I think that if you're not a fan of Ed Sheeran, usually I think that's the most accessible album for you.
I'm best friends with Ed Sheeran. I take him to lunch.
You are? Give me tickets.
Every weekend. Every weekend.
Give me tickets for a concert.
Okay. I just have to do some dirty things with him in the back, so
okay.
I'll let you know.
I haven't heard the whole album yet, as I've only heard I Don't Care, Beautiful People, and Blow. Ren, is there any song from number 6 collaboration project I think I'm going to love? I think you're going to love them all. My favorite song in that album is South of the Border. South of the Border is it's a very summer song, but that's my favorite song in the album. I Don't Care is really great. Beautiful People is solid. I like Beautiful People. Blow is... It's weird how I feel about Blow, because Blow is the type of music that I really enjoy. It's my type of music, I would say. But it's really not the type of music that I want when I go listen to Ed Sheeran, if that makes any sense. South of the Border is really good. Best Part of Me is really good, if that's the name of it that I'm remembering correctly. It's been a while since I went through that album. I gotta go through that album again. Let me open Spotify and see. Number 6 collaborations project. Here you go, Beautiful People, South of the Border. Cross Me is really... Take Me Back to London is really good. Best Part of Me. Antisocial with Travis Scott. The only problem with that song is that it's so fucking short. Nothing on You is great. Nothing on You is really good. So those are just a few of the standouts. Thank you for asking, Aaron. Joe Fletcher, have you guys seen the new Stranger Things 4 teaser? For me, short teasers are stupid. They should just release a full trailer at this point. The teaser is great, though, in my opinion. So we addressed this. I haven't seen it. Zach hasn't seen it. I'm sure Zach is going to... No, you said you don't want to watch it. So you're probably not going to watch it.
I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Show me the fucking show. I don't care if you release me 5 episodes tomorrow. Give me 5 episodes. I don't care. I'll watch them. I'll review them. I'll talk about them. And then 5 episodes later down the road. It's been 3 years since the last season. I understand we are in a pandemic, stuff like that, but they take way too long to make
You're
these
right.
seasons.
It has been 3 seasons.
It's literally it's been insane. And for me, like my parents are over it. They don't even care about the show anymore. There are people who just start losing interest in stuff like this when you take too long to make a show. Again, considering the pandemic, I understand. But they weren't even in development until literally like a month before the pandemic. And that was a year after the show had ended. The thoughtful thing was, hey, we know season 3 is going to be big. We already have plans for 4 and 5. Why don't we just start making... Like, that's what is unfathomable to me. Is that like I hope to God they already have 5. Like, okay, second 4 is done. We're going to start making 5. You know what I mean? We shouldn't have to wait this long for the goddamn show. If I'm being honest with you, we really shouldn't.
No, we should not. And I'm not even that interested, but we shouldn't have to wait. Eric Thorpe says, Azula is my favorite Avatar Last Airbender character, so I hope they get someone that really feels like her in the animated series. Hope so too, and look, we don't know any of the actors that have been cast as the main characters. But so far, I am really trusting this character, this casting, so I'm trusting that they will get someone good for Azula. Lady Aaron, Ren, keeping on the Ed Sheeran topic, what is your favorite song from every single Ed Sheeran album? My favorites are A-Team from Plus, Thinking Out Loud from X, from Multiply, probably Perfect from Divide, and probably Shivers from Equals. Haven't listened to all of number 6 yet, so I can't have a favorite for that one. My favorite overall, I think Divide is a perfect album, no pun intended, because my favorite song is probably Perfect. That album just has standouts. To be completely honest with you. Oh, and Zach's gone. I don't think that album has a single skippable song. Where's the Divide thing? Here it is. Ed Sheeran, Divide, Deluxe. Eraser is fantastic. Castle on the Hill is excellent. Dive is amazing. Shape of You is probably my least favorite of this album, but it's a really good song. Perfect is amazing. Galway Girl, come on. Happier, New Man, Hearts Don't Break Around Here is so underrated. What Do I Know is fantastic. How Would You Feel is wonderful. Supermarket Flowers is one of his deepest songs. Barcelona is so good. BBA, I probably am butchering that because this is Irish. I'm not Irish. Is wonderful. Nancy Mulligan is one of the most underrated songs ever. And Save Myself is just very wonderful and very intimate. So yeah, Divide are all my favorite songs from Ed Sheeran. So yeah. Oh, we had a jump. I apologize. Let me go back. I see Bruno's comments. We're finally getting to Bruno's comments. Where are we? Okay, we're here. We're caught up. Kyle Lima. I don't recognize your name, so welcome, Kyle, if you're new to the show, to the channel. Ariana Grande is going to be really good. She started on Broadway. I understand people being worried about her acting, but she is working with Nancy Banks, acting coach. Zach's back. Who worked with Margot Robbie, Emma Stone. Does Kyle continue? No, he does not. Thank you for the input. Again, I will be happy to be proven wrong. And Kyle clearly understands my point of view. Just from the starting point where we are right now, I'm just not very confident. But here's hoping 2 years from now, I guess, when the movie comes out, I review it, and I'm like, you know what, guys, I was very wrong. Ariana Grande deserves an Oscar for this performance. All right. Mega movies. Ariana Grande can't sing though. She can sing. The singing part is not my problem. I'm just judging. I'm just worried about the acting part, which is kind of the most important part.
Not really. I don't think so. We all saw Cats. Cats had great acting in it.
I want you to apologize to the people.
What do I need to apologize for? I'm talking about the greatest cinematic adventure of the entire world. Cats.
Ren, I'm super excited as the new Pokemon games come out in less than 2 weeks already. And I have the double pack pre-order. Are you playing Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl? And who's your starter? If you're wondering, I'll be playing Shining Pearl more, and I'll pick up Piplup as my starter. I'll be buying both as well. I always buy both the Pokemon games that come out. My starter, Piplup in that generation, Piplup is my least favorite, to be honest. I like Piplup. He's cute.
Chimchar.
I'm just not a big fan of Empoleon.
Chimchar's mine.
Chimchar. It's either Chimchar or Turtwig, but I'm probably going to go Chimchar.
Turtwig just reminds me of a
we're all
turd.
gonna go check.
So
Uh,
a turd in the wind.
Turd in the wind. Eric Thorpe, I've only seen Eternals once, but I have to disagree. I think it'll be one of the most rewatchable MCU movies for me, since it stands out on its own a lot more than most. That's awesome. Look, I think I've seen twice. I think Eternals is very rewatchable, and the things that I liked did get better on a second watch. That's why I'm curious to go for a third watch to see if any of the issues are dissuaded and any of the things that I already liked keep getting better. So yeah. Lady Aaron, Ren and Zach, would you agree that Eternals will be the most divisive movie not only of 2021, but possibly one of the most divisive movies in movie history? That second part is hard to tell because it just came out. We'll see how it endures the test of time. But of 2021, I think so. I think that's accurate to say. What do you think, Zach?
Yeah, there's not another movie this year that was like very dividing, I think.
Yeah. All right. Eric Thorpe, Makari was one of your faves. I don't know. She didn't do much for me, but then again, my favorite character was Dane, which I'll admit he doesn't do much. No, it doesn't have to make sense either. If that's how you felt, if he was a standout for you, that's awesome, and that's as valid as anyone else.
Jon Snow was great. He was great for,
and he was great. Kit Harington is great, and
it's
he's
funny.
He's clearly going to be important.
It's funny listening to him. I don't know how many interviews you've actually watched of him, but you can clearly tell
none.
He just found out who Korg was, like in the middle of shooting this film. So like he is not into the Marvel universe. It's someone asks him, they go, well, like your character in the comics eventually lead the Avengers. How would you like to do that? And he goes, he thinks to himself, he goes, I don't know if I want to. I don't even know if Dane would want to. Like, and it's like, like, and then they ask him about like something else in the Marvel universe, and he goes, who is that? Which movie was that one? Like, you can tell he just doesn't.
Yeah.
And then they asked, who would he love to team up with? He goes, Korg.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny to me because you can tell I don't think he gives a fuck. Like, the role's perfect. I mean, he's perfect for the role. There's no doubt about it. He's great in it. I want more of him in it. And it's cool because his lady friend,
can't wait for people to come,
is going to be in Secret Invasion. So,
yeah.
Hopefully, she's not a one and done.
Maybe he will be too.
Yeah.
I don't. That's not a spoiler for anything in Eternals.
No, it's just
you never know. All right, Lady Aaron, Ren. My dad has never seen Casablanca. While I have never seen The Sound of Music, and I told him that I will watch The Sound of Music if my dad sees Casablanca. So, Ryan, I need some help on this. Should Dad watch Casablanca first, or should I watch Sound of Music first? Casablanca.
I agree.
That's your biggest priority right now. Is have Dad watch Casablanca. Because Casablanca is one of the greatest films of all time. So, yeah. People didn't like this movie, partially, I think, because of how much it felt like a Snyder. I've seen that argument, and I completely disagree, to be honest. Just because it doesn't feel like a Marvel movie doesn't mean it automatically feels like a Snyder DC movie, which I love, but if I'm being real, most people don't. That's a good... Look, this feels nothing like a Zack Snyder or a DC movie at all to me. But look, I trust overall. Obviously, there are exceptions. We know this. There are some names out there that we shouldn't trust, and we know what those names are. But I trust that if people didn't like the movie, it didn't hit them right. They just didn't care for it because they didn't think legitimately that it was a good movie, which I fundamentally disagree with. But it's something we have to respect, and it's important not to get excuses per se for reasons why they didn't care. Like Griffin, our friend Griffin, he didn't like the movie. I'm like, I don't get it. I completely disagree. But hey, that's how it hit him. With all his experience through life, that's how it hit him. Unfortunately, but that's his opinion. And I think it's important that we all have respect those different opinions, even if we fundamentally disagree. All right. Oh, this is a great one. Diminishing Scott. When I was growing up, never once cared about no scores of a movie or what a person was thinking. Good on you, Diminishing Scott. Good on you. You're the best of us. You're the best of us, my friends. We kind of addressed this, but let's go at it again. Mega Movies, with the mixed reviews, how much do you think this movie will make in total this weekend? It's on track to make around what Shang-Chi did at 70. I'm going to call it at 70. Let's push it to 73. Zach?
70 to 71. I'm hesitant.
Right.
I don't know how today and tomorrow are gonna go.
Yeah.
I mean, I might change my tune if I go tonight and the theater's fucking absolutely packed, you know? But if it's not, because I'll be honest, the theater, I had Belfast at a screening and I had to go to that, and that theater was fucking dead. And it's a pretty big theater. So I was even surprised that it was at 9.5.
But it was a press screening, right?
For Belfast, yeah, but we went to a theater, you know, so in the theater was dead.
But
so.
maybe the rest of the critics have seen it at a ton of festivals.
Maybe.
The View with Drew. Are you excited for The King's Men? I am hesitantly excited. I've only seen the first trailer that ever came out. Yesterday when I went to see Eternals, one of the trailers played. I'm like, don't want to look. But I am, because I like both of the King's Men movies that came out. All right. Ooh, Lady Aaron asks, what's your favorite romance movie of all time?
My favorite one is Venom. I love when Venom and Eddie make out. You know, it's
so
good.
There's 3 that stand out to me. 2 of them are in my top 10 movies of all time. La La Land, absolutely,
yeah.
And Casablanca. And then I would have to give a shout to The Princess Bride.
Can I add another one to that? So all those would also be in mine. Crazy Stupid Love, though. I fucking love that movie. It is one of my favorite romantic comedies of all time. The twist in there is when it happens, it is one of the most chaotic 5 minutes of film ever.
I did not see it coming.
Oh, same. But dude, just the way it works and how everything's all happening at once. Like, it's just like one thing after the other. You know, it's Ryan Gosling shows up, and then freaking Steve Carell's like, what? And then what's his face shows up, who's the daughter, and then fucking Kevin Bacon shows up, and it just becomes all out chaos. It's perfect. I love that film so much. I watch it once a year around Valentine's Day. I love it.
All right. I watched Blue Valentine on Valentine's Day.
I've still never seen that. I've still never seen it.
That was a joke. Do not watch that movie on Valentine's Day.
No, I know, but like I've heard it's amazing.
It is fucking amazing, but it's not a movie to watch on Valentine's. I thought you had seen it. That's why I said that joke.
I know about it. I know a lot about it, but
when you do see it, Zach, then you'll understand that joke.
Okay.
I watched Blue Valentine on Valentine's Day.
Speaking on the romance side, and I want the chat to answer this too, as you. What is your favorite romance in the MCU? Especially because the Eternals has quite a few. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
And even after Eternals, my favorite romance in the MCU still stands. But
I'll
so
what is
that
it?
when we get to that. When we get to those. Lydia, this may be a tough question for you guys, but Ren and Zach, what is the most overrated best original song? Ooh, I don't know.
I
best original song winner, most underrated. Underrated, don't know. Overrated, off the top of my head, probably the Elton John one that won in 2019. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Bruna is here. Oh, hi guys. I really enjoyed Eternals. I don't see what people see about it being unique compared to other Marvel films. I thought, how dare you? Felt like a Marvel film. I love Thena and Gilgamesh, and with that, I told her your favorites are gonna be Gilgamesh and Thena, and I was right.
Mm-hmm. So between you guys, is she Thena and you're Gilgamesh?
No, I'm very much an Icarus.
Okay, and who is she? Who would Bruna be?
She is honestly I was talking to her yesterday. She is very much a Makari personality-wise. She has a little bit of Stripe, but I see her energy as more of a Makari.
Okay. What about me? Who would you say I am?
Who are you? I think you're too serious to be a druid.
Uh-huh.
You're probably a Kingo. You have a lot of Kingo energy. You're
Okay.
probably Kingo, I'd say. Yeah. I'm.
I could see Icarus in you.
I feel conflicted at saying I'm an Icarus, and if you've seen the movie, you know I feel that way. But at the same time, I don't really see myself. If anything, I'm a mix of the qualities of Icarus and I have a little bit of Icarus and a little bit of Gilgamesh.
Don Lee, man,
in me.
He's so good.
Don Lee, man, so good. Gentle Giants, man. I love my Gentle Giants.
Man, Train to Busan though, and I love how he's the one with like the super strength.
Oh
like,
yeah,
Train to Busan, he's the fucking going off on
the gauntlets again. But I was expecting a slow burner and sort of wish I got it. You did get it for the first half of the film. How dare you? No, I'm joking with Bruno. My favorite movie is Zack Snyder's Justice League and Halloween Kills, in my opinion. Oh, okay. All right. Bruno says, but I still really enjoyed it. Love me some Jon Snow, Robb Stark conflict. That one scene. Hello, Dane. So this must be the pilot. Eric Thorpe, No Time to Die is easily my favorite of the year. You and Griffins. All right.
I don't think no, that's his favorite. Yeah, I was trying to think. I know Inside by Bo Burnham is like his favorite.
I don't count that as a movie, but it's amazing. It's amazing. Question for Ren and Zach. What is one thing that you love and hate about movie fandom? That I hate, the toxicity that I love. Gonna be really cheesy right now, guys. Just warning you all. It's this. It's getting it. Like, I love talking with Zach about the news. And Zach, I think it's time that we let our friends over here know.
Okay.
Not know everything, but
we're breaking up.
We're breaking up. Soon enough, there will be some changes coming that we believe are for the best. But we have time. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. It's just to let you know that in the future, in the near future, and it'll probably already be 2022 when those changes come. But just be prepared. Just be prepared. Do you want to add anything, Zach?
Yeah. I think the big thing is it'll be exciting. I was thinking about it, Ren, change. I low-key think we should still keep the same name, but that's just me.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. We have time to talk about it.
It's an iconic name now.
It is. Okay.
We've done it for over a fucking year. So it's like...
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It'll almost have been a year when we decided to like implement or 2 years since we want to implement everything. Yeah. It could be like 2.0.
But again, we have time to think
like civilization grows,
we have time to think. Yeah.
So instead of a round table, it could be like...
overpopulation. It will be the emergence point.
I have a question for you with that. Not getting the spoilers of what the emergence actually is. Is that comic accurate?
Somewhat.
Okay.
Somewhat.
Even the stuff with the Celestials?
Not entirely, but somewhat. Not entirely, but somewhat.
Okay. I was curious on that. Okay.
Okay, mega movies. Titan and Dune are our favorites of the year so far. You saw Titan right around the same time as I did. I was gonna ask what you thought. Titan is really good, really fucking weird, but really good.
What was it? Oh, my dad asked me about it. He goes, I heard about Titan. Do you think I'd like it? And I was like, no, don't watch it.
And you sang the Macarena.
Well, he asked me what it was about. He goes, you can just spoil it for me then. And I told him stuff, and he goes, that's not.
It's about the Macarena.
He thought I was joking when I told him like elements, and I was like, I'm not joking. I'm like, and
you can't blame him. You can't blame him for thinking you were joking.
Like my friend asked me, so like I took my best friend to see it, and then our other friend was asking about it, and we started telling him about it because he's like, I know he'll never watch it, and he goes, you guys are fucking with me, and we're like, we're not joking. This is seriously like what happens in the movie. Given it's more in a cohesive way, but like this is really what happens in the movie.
Yeah. Dominican Scott, my ranking for the comic book movies of the year. Number 1, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Number 2, Black Widow. Number 3, Venom: Let There Be Carnage. Number 4, Shang-Chi. Number 5, The Suicide Squad.
Fuck you.
Wow.
How dare you put Venom above Suicide Squad? How dare you? How dare you?
Uh,
Do you want me to dress up like King Shark, come to your house and attack you? I'll play the Jaws theme. I'll play the Jaws theme while I do it.
All right, and I asked for some opinions earlier today, so we'll need to have time for that. Lady Eric, what is the longest music album that you ever listened to? I don't think I ever paid attention to how long a music album is. So far for me, it's the Hamilton soundtrack. You and Bruno are going to be friends. But on November 19th, I'm getting the unlimited edition of the Annette soundtrack that is going to be over 60 songs. But it's worth it, though, as I love Annette so much. I don't know. I don't pay attention to how long an album is.
Do you know what was originally supposed to come out this weekend? Real fast, do you know what was originally supposed to come out this weekend? It was announced back in 2019. Thor: Love and Thunder was supposed to debut on this day.
This was the original release date.
Yeah.
Now it's Eternals.
Yep.
Who do you think is the best villain of 2021? For me, Wenwu is so far the best. I would agree. I think I would agree.
I agree to a certain extent because Wenwu is technically, for me, not a full villain.
Yes. I don't consider him a villain, but still, villain, antagonist, whatever.
I mean, my favorite villain might be Amanda Waller because she's a bitch. No, seriously though, she's I loved Starro. I loved Starro and how they did him. I thought that was so fucking well done. But I also want to give a shout out to Steppenwolf. The additions they did in Zack Snyder's Justice League made him a fabulous villain. Arguably top 3 in the DCEU. So
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I will include Zack, because if I were to include Zack Snyder's Justice League, it would be in my top 10 right now. I don't know if I will at the end of the year actually include it. I'll probably give it as like an honorable mention, just because it's a weird circumstance for the film, but that is the definitive version of Justice League.
All right. I like this question. Thoughts on Night and Day, very underrated Tom Cruise movie directed by James Mangold. I always enjoy that film. I don't think it's anything spectacular. I don't think it's a great movie, but I always enjoyed it. It's a fun.
Which one is that?
It's the one with Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz.
I like it. Yes.
2010.
I have it. It's up there.
I've always enjoyed that film. It's really enjoyable. Viewer Drew, which MCU villain do you like more, Wenwu or Vulture? Wenwu. Again, don't consider him a villain personally. He's an antagonist, but let me say this: as a character, Wenwu is better.
Wenwu is the better written villain. Well, better written character, but I think Vulture's a better villain in the MCU, if that makes sense. And also with a bigger surprise. I knew Wenwu would be good. I did not expect for Vulture to be that good.
Okay. Eric Thor, my comic book movie ranking for so far this year. Zack Snyder's Justice League, The Suicide Squad, Eternals, Shang-Chi, Black Widow, and Venom. And you forgot the numbers, but that's all right, Eric. Mega movies. Zack Snyder's Justice League and The Suicide Squad, and I read the other way around, are the best comic book movies of the year. Lady Aaron, who is your favorite movie villain of the 2010s decade? For me, it's tied between Thanos and Kylo Ren. I would probably have the same tie, but because of the rise of Skywalker, I would give the edge to Thanos. Zach, we had a villain.
Barry Keoghan and the killing of sacred deer. I don't know. Probably Thanos. I think Thanos is so iconic now. It's crazy. How many more you want to take, Ren?
I want to get to the questions the question that you asked about the favorite.
Okay.
The favorite. The favorite MCU couples. Let's get to. All right. What's the best musical movie of all time. For me, it's La La Land. And that's it. Not even close. Yeah. How about you, Zach?
I agree.
All right. We had this question by Kyle. There it is. Okay, hang on. Leo is starting us off answering the question you asked. Leo says Star-Lord and Gamora in Guardians of the
Love
Galaxy 1 and 2.
Very underrated.
Mega movies. My favorite romance in the MCU is always Peggy and Steve or One Eye Vision. The correct answer right there. Peggy and Steve. Leo says, I'm so Thena. I loved Gilgamesh. All right. Most underrated romance in the MCU, in my opinion, are Scarlet Witch and Vision, especially in one of. I don't think at this point they're underrated, but
anymore,
hey, they're fantastic. But they're fantastic.
Surprised no one mentioned Tony and Pepper, because I think that's actually a pretty underrated one.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ren, who's yours?
Eric Thorpe, Peggy and Steve.
100%. Mine, I love Star-Lord and Gamora. I really do. And I'm trying to think. I like Peggy and Steve. I like Tony, and I think my favorite might be Gamora and Star-Lord, if I'm being honest. But when Deadpool gets introduced and Vanessa's in there, hopefully, fingers crossed, nice. It'll be Vanessa and Deadpool. That's my favorite comic book romance ever. I for movie wise, that romance was done so perfectly well.
All right, and guys, earlier today, both on my community tab and on my Twitter, I asked you what were your favorites. What was your favorite Eternal character in Eternals? And you guys answered, so I'm going to go to Twitter right now. Hakuna Matata says Fastos and Makari for me. Great to see diverse characters defined by who they are as people, as opposed to how they identify. Charlie McGivern says it's Kingo. Gico EP, Thena for me, though I love Kingo. Chris Connor, Fastos and Druid, but liked a fair few of them. Luke Stapley, my friend Luke, who I met personally. I also met Hakuna Matata. Elliot, I met him personally as well. Says Thena. James, real James, our good friend James, says Fastos was his favorite character. Ben Mayer, Fastos. I also like Dane, but I wish I saw more of him. Jed Wagman actually says Sprite was his favorite character. Oliver Erie, I hope that's how you pronounce it. Cersei, Gemma Chan was fantastic. She's incredible. The way she has to carry this film, performance-wise, no complaints. MSB says, honestly, I loved Karun, Kingo's valet. He was so good. I think he represents the best of humankind, a gentle, humble, hardworking, loving person. Out of the Eternals, I guess I only didn't feel that captivated by Ajax's story. Everyone else, I really liked them. Thena might be my favorite. Claire of Cinematic Delight says, Makari, I'd have liked to have seen more of her, as I don't think her time spent after the group separated was explored as much as the others. She has the superpower, super speed, I would love to have, and it would be interesting to see if her relationship with Druid develops. Our friend Chili Boy Productions, Larry, says, I literally love pretty much the entire team. Same here. Fastos holds a special place, obviously, giving me this beautiful and organic representation in an MCU film. Thena was a beautiful example of strength. Makari literally made me feel empowered, and Gilgamesh was the beautiful heart. I agree, dude. Gilgamesh was the heart of the team for me. Josh Barton says Druid for me has one of the more interesting arcs in the film, and I do agree with that. Reese positive POV. Reese, I also met him personally recently. Thena was his favorite character. Mr. Crockpot says the top two for me were certainly Gilgamesh and Fastos. The character I connected most with was Fastos. I loved his story, especially being a first-time father. Lily K says Thena and Gilgamesh, forever my favorites. I absolutely love Ma Dong-seok. I hope that's how we pronounce it, and Angelina Jolie. Patrick J. Hurst says, haven't settled on a favorite yet. I went to bed thinking it was either Druid or Fastos. When I woke up, changing my mind to Makari or Kingo. Got a soft spot for Sprite too. Can they all be my favorites? And I think so, yes. Then we have Madon Seok as Gilgamesh. Would have been Makari if she had more screen time. Dragonstorm27 says Druid. Trial of Magneto says, can't choose between Thena, Druid, and Makari. And Ruthless says, Thena was just so beautiful and great to watch. Love Angelina Jolie and her performance. And finally, let's go to the community tab and see what people over there say. And we don't got much comments on the community tab. We got Movie Database, good friend of the show. Druid, I really admire the actor who plays him. His character brought tension and drama. He was antagonistic, but also a vital cog towards the end. But Karun was an unexpected joy. Obviously a comic relief character, but he had a touching moment towards the end. No spoilers. Always enjoy your show. Good luck to you guys there. Thank you so much. And we saw you on the chat a little bit earlier today. And Movie Fans said, probably Druid, we share the same personality. All right, everyone. And that is it. That makes up for this week's edition of Geeks at the Roundtable. And Eric Thorpe says, actually, the best romance in the MCU is Tony and Steve. Good job. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for keeping the conversation going, not only with us, but with each other. And special video coming later today, so I hope you guys are there to support it, because it's not done. It's gonna take a lot of work to get it done. But Zach, quickly before we go away, what do you have coming up this week, and where can people find you online?
Zach Pope, as always, YouTube, Twitter, don't matter to me. It's going to be a little bit weirder because I don't have too many videos planned this week. I know I have a Belfast review. I have like a couple others. It's going to be a slower week, which is fine because I have a screening every night. I just can't talk about most of the movies yet because we have to wait till they're like a little bit close to the release date. I'm seeing Come On this week. I'm seeing Encanto. I'm seeing Power of the Dog, hopefully. We have to pass the COVID test, so everyone pray that I pass it or no glitches happen. And what was the last movie? I think I'm seeing Being the Ricardos this week.
Oh,
maybe? I can't. No, wait.
Nice.
I can't remember. I'm either seeing that or The Tender Bar. I can't remember. But I'm seeing pretty much every week up until the first week of December. I'm seeing like 4 films a week. So
Okay.
Gonna be busy, but I like doing this because then I don't have to watch them in December. And then December's a little bit easier, especially when it comes down to watching like Boba, Hawkeye, Spider-Man, end of the year list, all sorts of things like that. So yeah, but man, what do you got coming up?
I don't know. Because now comes that complicated time, Zach, where a ton of movies that are now coming out
You've already reviewed.
Yeah. But this week, you and I will be able to review something, to put out the review for something that we've been watching throughout this week.
I thought it was next week.
I think it's this week, because it's the 10th.
The socials this week. The socials this week.
Oh, the social. Okay. Never mind that. Never mind, guys. I don't know what I have this week, but I will for sure have something. I will not be hanging.
You should review the original.
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know if I have time to watch it, to rewatch it, but maybe I'll have content. Do not worry, guys.
Do a video on why it's important.
Yeah. All right, and that is it for Geeks at the Table. Lots of content coming. Special video coming later tonight that I hope you guys watch, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Again, that video will have spoilers for Eternals, so only watch it if you have seen Eternals. If not, just feel free to share it around with your friends and foes. So until the next week, guys.